Hello, welcome to another night of chat with Giacomo, Jack Amato. Tonight we're going to talk about Sonny Black, Napolitano. A lot of people really don't know too much about Sonny Black based on what you hear in the journalism. Everybody talks, things from the past, everything created. I'm going to talk also about Donnie Brasco. That he infiltrated the Bonanno crime family 1976 to 1981. A lot of things happened. In 1980, Sonny Black was the king of kings in the Bonanno crime family. He was the acting boss under Rusty Rostelli, which nobody knows about. They talk about Joe Messino. Joe Messino was not even around on Greenpoint based on 1980s. He was a Maspet, staying in Maspet because they didn't like him, in Brooklyn. They didn't like him. They thought that he just stepped in on shit, with his JJ deli, and he started making money. And he was kicking in a lot of money to the Rastellis because they were making money. Everything is about money. In the crime family, everything is who's going to make money. And John Messina was making money because a lot of the coffee trucks he had on his wing, and he had a Tutti Francese too. So that's the Colombo, and he had even uh, John Gotti, you know. So he didn't need to go to Brooklyn anymore. He kept away. So they don't like him in Brooklyn. They don't like him. They thought he was, you know, a self greedy fuck, really. They didn't like him. So he never went to Brooklyn. But I used to go. I got so friendly with Sonny Black that even his son came to work, for a small period at Amato's Pizzeria, my pizzeria in Glendale, in the late 70s, because he asked me, the son was getting wild, it was getting uncontrollable. A lot of the sons are wise guys, they'll do that because, they want to be copycat like their father. So, we got close. Now, during that time, Donnie Brasco did the infiltration in the Bonanno crime family. And it was alongside Lefty Ruggiero, which I didn't really knew Lefty, how's they promote him to be in the movie Donnie Brasco. There was a lot of other guys. There were shooters, tough guys. And one guy, matter of fact, one guy had a shootout with cops, killed a cop, went to jail for life, and he was under Sonny Black's crew. So he had a lot of tough guys. He was like a John Gotti in the Bonanno crime family. But the only thing it was that Napolitano, Sonny Black, he didn't have no flash. He didn't have no charisma. He was like the regular street enforcer, tough guy, And so was Sonny Red, which they called him Little Jojo. I don't know why nobody ever talks about that, but that's how they related to him. I don't know. Everybody had nicknames, different nicknames. So Donnie Brasco infiltrated the Bonanno crime family for 6 years. 5 years, 6 years, I don't know exactly, but in the prime where things were happening. And they made the movie, Danny Brasco. And that was in the late 70s. So he did a lot of, things for Sonny Black, left to Ruggiero, wherever he was connected with. And he told the story in court, when he came out and, and they talk about they killed the three couples. Who was involved in the three couples? Sonny Black, Nicky Santora, left to Ruggiero, in the movie. So why 20, yeah, 20 years later, it was Joe Messino, Sabatali, Lilo, other guys that did the killing of the three captains. So that's what I want to talk about it tonight. It doesn't make any sense. They even made the movie, and Donnie Brasco testified that it was Sonny Black that led the charge to kill the three couples. And then all of a sudden, 20 years later, Joe Messino was the main guy, you know. And when Joe Messino was in trouble, I did mention it to him before he got busted. He got picked up in 2003. I did tell him, you know, Donnie Brasco made the movie. They talk about that Sonny Black was the guy and his crew that killed the three couples. So if they ever going to try to throw that on you, because they were investigating before he got picked up, you know, who's better than having the what do you call it, an agent, FBI agent, telling stories that it was Sonny Black, the one that set up the thing to kill the three couples. He looked at me, he laughed at me, and didn't know what I said. So, who really were the killers of the three couples? Was it John Messino? Was it Sal Vitale? Because stories change, and different people come out with different stories. You know, so Danny Black should testify everything. That Sonny Black did this. Sonny Black did this. Now, Joe Messino was a captain, and he was in the street. He was not in jail. He went to prison in 1986. So, and I'm sure there was a connection, you know, dealing with business because Sonny Black had an office in Maspet. He was taking action of the coffee trucks. And Nick Santora was the representative. Nick Santora didn't have a big role during that time. Nick Santora was a soldier under Sonny Black. Like he had a lot of guys. He had a lot of tough guys. I don't remember a lot of the names. I did business with them, with stolen goods, you know, that I bought from. They were doing a hijack, and the thing is, Donnie Brasco, Joe Pastone, he testified a lot of things about Sonny Black and his crew, left in jail, everything. Why in 2004 the government turned everything around, and that was Joe Messino, that he was the underboss during the time in the 80s, under Rusty Rastelli. So that doesn't make sense. Why all this bullshit going on through all these years? And Joe, I thought maybe he had a thing, a commitment from the FBI agent that they were going to give him a pass, and eventually did get the pass. He became an informant, which he was. I think he was always an informant. He always was a rat. You know, from the time he got locked up in 1986, 87, 89, when Anthony Spiro really was in charge of the family with Salvatali. So that's why he took the bait that he was the one that killed the three couples, because it was all set up. Donnie Brasco made a movie. He testified that Joe Messino had nothing to do with the killing of the three couples. So then 20 years later, everything was Joe Messino. He was the brain. He was everything. He controlled the Bonanno family. Rusty Rastelli had no control. Everything was like the Let's Godfather. Anthony DeStefano talks about. But why Donnie Brasco didn't mention it when he came out of the undercover, and he never mentioned about Joe Messino. He didn't know Joe Messino. Joe Messino didn't want to be bothered with him. How could you not want to be bothered when you are a capo in in the Bonanno crime family, and uh, Sonny Black Napolitano, he was in charge. He was the underboss at the time. He was the right hand man of Rusty Rastelli. Rusty Rastelli, and him grew grew up together. Same thing next to Sonny Francese. They were very close. So why did John Messino get all this uh, notary about that he was the trigger man that killed the three capo? He was in charge of the setup, and Sonny Black was nothing. It was just you know a nobody. No, it's not true. Sonny Black was the main man under the Rostelli regime, and he had a strong crew. He had shooters. Joe Messino didn't have no shooters. J.J. Deli, he didn't have no shooters. He had a few guys, that did errands for him, you know, doing chores, because they were picking up action, numbers, um, bets, gambling bets, everything you had to do with gambling. And food, distribution of food, clothes, everything was, cigarette smuggling, that everything was going through the trucks. And that's what he was doing. He was not a big uh, a crew that he had, gunslingers, like John Gotti had, Sonny Black Napolitano had, Trudy Francese had, Fritzi Giovanelli had. He was just a money maker. It was like being that he was the Volkswagen. Everybody meant money of the trucks, and everybody used to go by JJ Deli, and that's what it was. But Joe, Sonny Black was the enforcer in the Bonanno crime family, and Donnie Brasco spent 6 years undercover. And why he didn't have anything on Joe Messino? Maybe it's like I've been saying all along that Joe Messino was an informer. They wanted him out on the street. And when he got busted with Russell Rostelli, he had to do time. They treat him like the golden boy in prison, and he was giving them information. But he hated being in prison, and they killed. Everything happened 1980. The three couples got killed. I think it was I don't know the month, but anyway, in July of 1981, Donnie Brasco comes out from the undercover, uh, and in August, a month later, they killed Sonny Black, and they say everything was Joe Messino, and Donnie Brasco never mentioned about Joe Messino. He never met Joe Messino. Wasn't that a coincidence? Doesn't that prove that maybe I'm right what I'm saying? That Joe Messino was like Scarpa from the Colombo family, because that's a dude, they do copycat. Now, uh, Sonny, Sammy the Bull, he became a rat, and he got away with it. Became, how do you say, an idol. A tough he was. He committed 19 murders, and he beat he beat the Charger by becoming a rat. So everybody follow what he did. So why didn't Joe Messino maybe did the same thing? They knew about Scarpa being an informer, and he wanted to do the same thing to try to beat going to jail. Donnie Brasco was an agent, FBI agent. He testified. He did. He said everything in the journalism. So why, Sonny Black became a nobody, but Joe Messino got elevated to be the smartest guy. That he knew how to handle himself better than John Gotti. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? It should make sense. Why did Donnie Brasco ever accuse Joe Messino for any crime while he was undercover? There had to be some kind of dealings, you know, between the captains in the Bonanno crime family. So Donnie Brasco testified against a lot of captains. He put away a lot of people, but he never could pinpoint Joe Messino. Does that make sense? And he was up there, elevated. Joe Messino was a top captain under Rusty Rastelli. Why was he not? being implicated in the crime activities. Does it make sense? I mean, common sense. So everything I've been saying about Joe Messino is true based on this fact. What I'm saying now. Why did he took all the credit that he killed the three captains, and he was the mastermind, and he controlled the Bonanno crime family. Rusty Rostelli was nothing. He was old. I knew Rusty Rostelli. I grew up with the family. Rusty Rostelli did a lot of study. Rusty Rostelli was a gangster. He was a gangster. Sonny Black was a gangster. No different than John Gotti. He was not a flashy like John Gotti, but he was a gangster. And so was Sonny Delicato. They were gangsters. That's why they were trying to move in. You know, when they killed Galenti, the three couples wanted to move in. They wanted to push us, Rusty Rastelli out. They were going after uh, Sonny Black, and maybe Joe Messino too. But I think the target was Sonny Black because Sonny Black had the power. He had the soldiers. He had the army. Joe Messino didn't have no fucking army. Who did he have? Goldie? Whatever. Goldie. This guy, the old guy, Carmine. Fed Joe. This guy that he was. So I knew all the guys he had. He had Salvatali. He had Tommy D, an Irish guy. He had a couple guys around him, but they were not hitters. Sonny Black had the soldiers, and Donnie Brasco never mentioned that. Why? Because Joe Messino was in cahoots with the feds when he got picked up with the hijacking and he beat the case. He got picked up a few times and he beat the case. He got picked up with the homicide of the three couples. He beat the case. But then in 2004, you know, he got accused. He was the mastermind and all this shit. But during in the 80s, when he was suspected of it, he didn't go to jail. I think Rizzuto, Vito Rizzuto, went to prison for the murders, and he participated with Joe Messino, but Joe Messino never went to prison for the murders. So, does that make sense? I'm going to take a sip of wine. I got a lot of people I blocked out. I got 5 likes. I got 8 people watching. Salute. So I'm talking facts. Donnie Brasco infiltrated the Bonanno crime family for 6 years. He never mentioned Joe Messino. The reason, because Joe Messino didn't want to meet him. He didn't want to be, he didn't trust Donnie Brasco. He was such a genius of knowing who was bad and who was not bad. So it's funny. And Donnie Brasco's been going around an old podcast, wrote books, and he tells stories about always Lefty Ruggiero and Sonny Black, and he really don't mention too much of Nico Santora. He don't mention Joe Messino. Uh, so so there's always bullshit. When I started this telling my story, uh, I've been called all kinds of things, but I was there in the 70s. I was there in the 80s. I was there in the 90s, and I was there in the year 2000. And little by little, I'm kind of now with telling the story. So is Donnie Brasco telling the truth, or he's just saying things to satisfy his ego? He bullshits like everybody else. Why didn't he never testify against Joe Messino? Because Joe Messino was in bed with the FBI, like Scarpa. I can think about his first name. So does that make sense? There's a lot of guys, informers, rats that made it true. That's what that's the feds. That's what they feed off. That's how they get information. That's how they go after people. And there's always been that. Once they get you in a rope of dope, like they got other big people, they squeeze you. And Michael Franchese has been saying it. They put them on a hole, they squeeze them. They were going after the money. They were putting out words out there, to get him hurt if he didn't play along. And that's what they do. So the government is always the power. They control everything, not the guys in the street. The guys in the street are tough guy when they just getting away with things. But once you get under their thumb, they do things. They got the power to do whatever they want to do. They squeeze you. They take all your money. And I got squeezed, you know, when I had my restaurant. And I said, take whatever fuck you want to take, you know. They couldn't prove anything, of violence, so they couldn't do really nothing. So that's how I beat the case. And they talk about, I made a deal, I did this, I did 302, but it should be court papers in courts, right? Everybody comes out with journalism, papers. So they don't have none of that. But I was there in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, in the year 2000. So I'm keep on talking about it, but does it go in one ear, comes out of the other ear? Donnie Brasco did 6 years infiltration of the Banana crime family. How many people he convicted? But he never convicted Joe Messino when he was undercover. How could that be? The main two people under Rossi Rastelli's capos were Joe Messino and Sonny Black Napolitano. Why didn't get touched? Why he beat it when he went to trial for the tree captain murder in the 80s? Does that make sense? And then that's how, Uh, he had to go to prison when he got busted with the union with Rusty Rastelli, but they gave him a sweet jail cell, and he still didn't fucking like it because Joe Messino loved to eat. Joe Messino loved the good life because he was making money. He's living in our beach. He had a beautiful home, like a small villa, and he had everything there. And he loved to eat, loved to eat. He didn't like jail food. He was not used to that. So when time came on, he didn't want to be there because he used to tell me, I spent 6 years of my life in prison. I spent 4 years in the land, 10 years of my life. He always used to complain that, you know, being in jail, he didn't like it. And he lost 10 years. That alone, I always thought that he was going to flip if it came time that had to do a real long stretch, you know? And I used to worry about Donnie Green Herschel, that he could be the one, because Tony Green Herschel used to love the beach. You see him in his photo, all the tan. He worked out. He was a bodybuilder. He always had a good life. He had all the best nightclubs. Like Garden City Hotel. He ran, the nice spots. He had all the women. He was a playboy, and Joe Messino. That's why he liked him because he used to feed them women to him. You know, classy women, not low life women. So that's how Donnie Green and Herschel got very close to Joe Messino. And Rusty Rustivo, uh, Louis Rustivo was a good captain. He was a businessman. He ran the operation. He was well respected. He was involved with a lot of people. Big business people. That's why Joe brought him into Casablanca. So there's a lot of things a lot of people don't know because they never brought it out. So I'm bringing it out. Does that make sense about Donnie Brasco telling fake stories too? And then he went out and he started doing a lot of podcasting, a lot of stories, books, making money like everybody else. Exaggeration, lies, but he never told about Joe Messino. So Sonny Black got killed because Donnie Brasco. He infiltrated the family. I don't know how many people he put away, but not Joe Messino. Does that register the story about Donnie Brasco or the FBI? Then they give him in 2004. What did he do? After killing so many people, stealing so much money, and they even had him with the heroin too, because they had their hands in it. And he recorded Vinny Basciano, and then they gave him the pass because he recorded Vinny Basciano. mean, that is, and he got out of from facing the death penalty and the death sentence. You know, because of Vinny Basciano, they had Vinny Basciano because he made him to tell, he recorded him that he killed this guy, and they gave him the pass. That alone, it shows that he was on the take. They had to give him something because maybe he was going to write out the FBI. You know, he was going to tell stories, about how corrupt there is, everything, all corruptions. So there's always been that kind of activities, within the government too. So Sonny Black was the power in the Bonanno crime family during the late 70s and early 80s. He did kill part of it, the tree capo, which they never gave him the credit. They gave the credit to Joe Messino. And Donnie Brasco made a movie about it, who killed the three capos. And then it turned out to be Joe Messino in 2000, that he was the one, the ringleader of the Bonanno crime family. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Not in my book. It doesn't make sense. So I got over here 9 likes, and I didn't even ask for likes. That's a good thing. And I got showing 9 viewers. uh, I got 10 likes. That's good. What I'm saying is the truth. Donnie Brasco infiltrated the Bonanno crime family for 6 years. And talk about Sonny Black, Lefty Ruggiero, Nick Santora, other guys right now I can think about their fucking name, which I knew a lot of other guys that were under Sonny Black. They were shooters, gunslingers, tough guys. And they're not, they did get sent away for life. So that's what Sonny Black Napolitano had. He was the enforcer, and Donnie Brasco talks about it. That's why he infiltrated Sonny Black crew. He didn't go to infiltrate Joe Messino in the JJ Deli, or because in JJ Deli there was a lot of shit going on with Tutti Francese, John Gotti. Why didn't he infiltrate Joe Messino? Why did he infiltrate Sonny Black? Because Sonny Black was the power in the Bonanno crime family. And Donnie Brasco heard the whole crew, but he didn't touch Joe Messino. So you got to think about it. And then they did try to attack him, try to prosecute him for the murder of the three capos, but he beat it. How did he beat it? Nobody else beat anything. Why did he beat it? Vito Rizzuto went to prison. So how come Joe Messino didn't go to prison then? So that's all my points, my facts. And I was close to Sonny Black. Like I said, I even gave a job to his son working at Amato in my pizzeria, Model Avenue. And then Nicky Santoro used to come around, keep an eye on, used to drop him off, pick him up, because that's what Nicky Santoro was. He was like the way Savatali was with Joe Messino, his Herald boy. Nicky Santoro was that way with Sonny Black Napolitano. The same thing. Everybody had the right hand guy. And, you know, what's his name? My mind blocks out because I'm trying to think and talk. John Gotti had his own guys doing errands for him. He had Willie Boy. Anybody remember Willie Boy? He would do anything for John Gotti. Wack Wack was very important to John Gotti because he was related to Neil Della Croce. So he didn't make Angelo Ruggiero as his errand boy because Angelo Ruggiero really was his John Gotti partner. He needed Angelo Quack Quack Ruggiero because the blood relationship he had with Neil Della Croce. Does anybody know about that? Then nobody talks about that. So there's a lot of stories that nobody knows really. All these guy podcasts, journalism, they get the information from the agents, from the detectives, from the so they feed the information and then they put it out in the newspaper and people see it in the newspaper or they do the 6 o'clock news on TV and they get to report. But are those are facts? Are those are true? There's a lot of fabrication people do, but here I am trying to tell you Donnie Brasco was an agent, FBI agent that infiltrated, the Bonanno crime family for 6 years. And a lot of people put away. He put away a lot of people, but he couldn't put away Joe Messino. Why? He had nothing to do with the murder with the three couple. But yet, in the year 2000, when everything was coming out, he got the credit that he killed the captain. Joe Messino created all these activities. So I gotta say hello to some people here. Let me see who I gotta delete. If somebody here is talking bad, maybe I don't have too many people talking bad, but we see. I'm gonna check and talk. I'm gonna take a sip of wine, vino. In the day, I drink water. At night, after dinner, I have vino with dinner. So cheers. I'm not an alcoholic. Never was. Okay, so we're gonna see what we got here because this is what I do live chat to talk to people. And if they ask the right question, I answer them. If they start asking make stupid remark, I don't have the patience or the time because what I'm telling you is the true facts. I mean, common sense alone, you know. Donnie Brasco infiltrated the Bonanno crime family for 6 years and he couldn't touch Joe Messino, being that Joe Messino was one of the top captains with Rusty Rastelli. and did a lot of things with Sonny Black, and he never touched them. That's that's weird, isn't it weird? Okay, so we got Otavia. Have a great show. Thank you, Otavia. Uh, Thank you. I'm trying to have a good show. Soy Sauce Jack. Did I block Soy Sauce Jack in the past? I don't know. What is that he says? I don't know. Why did they give Sonny's dead to Lefty in the movie anyway? Why don't you ask Donnie Brasco? Why did they give Sonny's dead to Lefty in the movie anyway? I don't know. That's Sonny. Good question. You know, in the movie, everything it had nothing to do with Joe Messino. Where Sonny Black crew really jacking Park meter? No, not true. Soy sauce Jack. He didn't do that. Some bullshit with meters. Okay, Talia says, so interest in Giacomo, interest in Ben. What an interest life you have, lad. I saw it, okay. So much treachery, right? Yes, there's always treachery in that life. That's how it is. How many people on the cover, Tavia? There's a lot of people on the cover. There's a lot of informants too. Primo, hi Primo. Rats don't go to prison, especially boss rats. That's right. You're right, Primo. You know, the only big rat boss I heard was, you know, Joe Messino. I never trusted him. I never wanted to be part of him because he was not from the old tradition. He was not from Cosa Nostra thing. I never believed in him. Uh, Phil Rostelli was always in prison. So I met him when he came home a few times. I looked him up and down. He was a gangster. That's it. And I don't think he had it really, to be a boss either. He was a tough guy. He was a gangster, but the commission gave it to him, so he took advantage of it, and he had to support. Do you like Sonny Black, Giacomo? Yeah, I like Sonny Black. He was down to earth. He was a neighborhood guy. He never flashed. He was always quiet, and he was a very serious guy. He didn't tell jokes, too many jokes. He was a very serious guy. So everything he did, it was, Now the Motion Lounge, he owned it. Did he own it by himself, or was money from Rusty Rustelli? Because Sonny Black, he wasn't not a businessman. He was a gangster, period, an enforcer. So he had to get something, and everything was going on Greenpoint because I used to go with Marty and Graham Avenue, right by the Motion Lounge. They used to have sit downs. And then there was another place, I think it's Sunny Red and Delicato had. They used to do a Wednesday night poker game. All the guys used to come in, you know, and get together. Wise guys, all soldiers, couples, and I was with Marty, and I was fascinated, and Domicilio didn't come by too much because they didn't like him. They didn't like him. The only one who liked him was Rusty Rastelli because he was making money. And his nephew, Louis Rastelli, was a good buddy, good friend of Joe Messino. That's how Joe Messino got elevated, in the eyes of Rusty Rastelli. Don't forget, the Volkswagen pulled in a lot of money in gambling and stolen goods. So that was a good fence that Joe Messino had. But he gave a lot of money to Rastelli. And because, Joe Messino was he was a heavy gambler. And he was not lucky either, And everything changed as later when the drugs came in. They all started getting involved with the heroin, or Carmen Galante, and everybody started getting involved. Primo, it says Messino was a rat. Yes, I think he was a rat for a long time. An informer. He goes, he didn't want to go to prison. So, did you block me? I haven't been on the last few streams, do being decent in real life. You didn't block me. Okay. All right. So that's good. So I saw sudden block you. All right. Good. So you were busy. Okay. Welcome in. Ask good questions. Don't get like these other people started making stupid comment because I don't like it. I'll let you know when I get the books. Thanks again for the inscription. Primo, thank you for buying my 3 books. 3 books, Primo bought, guys. Like other guys have been buying, And the thing is that I sold more books, with signature, autograph that I sold on Amazon. That if you buy books, you cannot review them because you don't buy from Amazon. People that buy from Amazon, they could review the books. And then a lot of people bought them and they haven't written reviews. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking for them to come in and write my reviews because I got to try to be these people, 6 people that came in and gave me bad reviews because I went to battle with this 52 topic show that they were trying to set me up, trying to embarrass me, discriminate because this Francesco Fendolino, uh, he was a rat, and then he became an informant in prison. In prison, they used him to give them information about what's going on in prison yard when they talked, and they even gave him a pass because he commit murder. They were going to extradite him back to Sicily because he grew up in America since he was 2 years old. He never became an American citizen. So what kind of guy is he? And Brett, the Penguin, puts him in this fucking show. And then he's over there in this show, The Penguin, which I think is full of shit. He talks about rats. He don't like rats. He talks about, and he's what do you call comedy. He does comedy. He does imitation of people, and people like him because he makes them laugh. So he's running a comedy show, and he's supposed to be now going on only by, how do you say, not public. He wants to do it, his show with private, members only. Who the fuck is gonna go give them money to pay members only? People want to talk to you. People want to hear. Now, is he doing public tonight? Because tonight, I don't know. And this is Lisa Pizzatola that she gave me a big scar on my books by taking pictures and writing bad bad reviews she gave me with Bimbi Palermo, Bimbo, and J. Lambone. He goes by James Johnson. There's other four people that use different names. So, you know what? I don't care at this stage. I just want people to come in. If they read the books, please give me my reviews and debate if these people, the way they trash the story, if it's true. I got a lot of people love the story because it's real. I never said I was a journalist. I'm not a journalist. I didn't go to school. I grew up with no education in America. I came from fifth grade that I did in Italy. I never finished fifth grade in Italy because I came in the middle of the year on December 23rd on Christmas week, 23rd. And they were laughing, I'm making it up. Who will come in America? This is Elisa Pizzatola. And the other one, who will come in America on Christmas, December 23rd? People fucking travel Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. If you want to go to a country or you want to go someplace, it doesn't make it. I travel sometime during the holidays because I had a restaurant. I had to work my business. So when the day was closed, I would fly out to go to Sicily, to go see my mom, go see my dad. I would go fly on Sunday, holiday Sunday, whatever holiday was, Easter Sunday. I fly. Could be the night or early in the morning. I fly to get there. Just go, just to give a kiss. I would do that because I love my mom. I love my dad. That's family. A lot of people don't have that relationship. Okay, so now I don't know. I gotta scroll back up a little bit. Okay, yeah, primo. Don't want to. Okay, well, let's see. We missed maybe. Okay, all right, all right. So we'll slow down. You didn't block me. Okay, you said that. That's how we left off. Thank you again for the inscription. You're welcome, Primo. It was my pleasure. The books are in the mail, and you should be getting all three books on June 8th or June 9th. So that's what the post office told me. So thank you for putting the faith, no matter about these people trashing the book. You have your own view of things, and you want to know. So thank you. And the books are signed. The direction you told me to, I did everything you asked me to do, and thank you. Okay. I like Giacomo Ottavia. We have a lot in common on the Sicilian ancestry front. Yes, we had a Johnny Catalano came in like real Sicilian from the old school family. He said he was related to Pari Catalano. That gave me more interest of being his friend. And even my son said, Johnny, my son Anthony said, Johnny Catalano, it could be a good moderator for you. He liked them. As I said, I don't know. I don't know yet. And Johnny brought in a lot of people. That wanted to be involved on my show. But then all of a sudden, he got involved with this JJ Lambone, which I think I call him a freak. The guy's a nut job. Something's wrong with him. It's not normal. And so is Bimby, and so Bimby Palermo, and so is Elisa Pizzatola, because the way they think. Joe Pastore is like I'm flying from different groups, because I know Joe Pastore from back when I was involved with Gary Jerkins from Gang what Gang Wire podcast by Gary Jerkins. So he's doing that. That was the I got involved, and I did interview with him. Live interview. He's an ex-detective. He's from Kansas, near Illinois, Chicago. He's always talking about the outfit. He wanted to know about Joe Messino. He wanted to know. So we did the interviews. They are on YouTube. People could check it out. Gary Jerkins, with Giacomo Amato. Jack Amato, actually. Bonanno Associate. We did a good interview. We did good talking. Then I did the one with Bill Stacks. He's moving up. He does the gangs, the motorcycle gangs. But we talk with the videos. Then I was going to this guy to Nicholas. He's a Greek guy. He talk about being a gangster. I don't know. I did interview. This was right in the beginning, maybe 3 years ago. Uh, and the guy didn't even know what the fuck he was talking about. At least Gary Jerkins knew. I mean, he was a detective. He knew about the wise guys. He understood. You know, uh, Bill Stacks just asked question and let me talk and tell my story. He didn't try to act like he knew everything. Where this guy Nick Jerkinson, I don't know if I pronounce it right. He's got a YouTube channel, and I did a take with him. We were gonna do other takes, but when I was started to, you know what you're talking about, and it didn't work out. So that's why I'm doing my own podcast. I'm doing solo. The best way is to do solo, talk, and tell the truth. How I know all these guys, all these gangsters, not little guys. I got a lot of people asking me, "Did you know this guy from the Fisher's Fulton Street fish market?" I said, "No, I don't know." Then you're nobody. Did you know? Another guy asked me a question. Do you know this guy? No, I don't know him. But all the guys I mentioned are celebrities from the mafia. I've been mentioning everybody. And they got sons, they got nephews, still alive. They're around. I don't get nobody attacking me that I'm fugazi like the other people. I'm phony. I'm not real. Who's attacking me? People that just follow up 52 topic, OC Short, um, Scott Bernstein, James Prospector, what's his name? Prospector, the Sundown, Jeff Nutty. They don't know shit. They don't know nothing. The only thing they get from journalism, and then they try to act like they know something. They don't know nothing. I'm talking about guys I was sitting down with them, talking with them, drinking with them, and living their life, doing my thing. The same shit they were doing, I was doing. Because I didn't go to prison or I didn't get a button. I don't want a button. I had my own button. I listened to my father. My father was the godfather. And then it was Rusty Russell in America. I chose him. Who's better be than a boss? Rusty was a boss from the 70s to the 90s. And when Rusty died, I went on the shelf. I even started doing all my business because I got arrested with Anthony Sparrow. I got already arrested in uh, Nassau County, so I had two strikes. I had a property, I had a restaurant, and I had young kids. They need daddy. And I said, you know what? I'm back what I wanted. I'm going to pack it in. How many guys could do that? I did that. And I know when to take steps back. I always believed that. An old guy always told me, take two steps back and then you go step forward. Every time you feel that you get too much heat, take steps back off. You could always come, you could always come back next day, next time, next year. And he was right. And I follow their direction, the old timers. I always love to be around old timers. They know more. They know about life, not the young guys. So that's why I was around Joe Leach, Johnny Shep, Tony Guido. These were made guys from different crime families, millionaires. They ran bookmaking, Sherlock. They own clubs. And that's why I got connected with. And that's why I liked. I liked the old timers. I didn't like the young people. I didn't like really put my life in the hands of Joe Messino, John Gotti, Sonny Black, or all this Fritz Giovanelli. They were from American mentality. They were not like. But the other guys were more also the American mentality, but they were from the 30s, 40s. So they lived their life. They lost their brothers. Some of them have lost their brothers. Some have lost their cousins, in the wars or the crime families. So that's what I learned from. So now, so is it block? Okay. So we got Sweet Chuck. Were you around for Citizen on Patrol? Citizen on Patrol. Were you around for Citizen on Patrol? You were going to. I don't know what you mean, Sweet Chuck. I don't know what you're talking about, Citizen on Patrol. Uh, I don't know. You joined. Okay. Okay, so we got there. Have you heard what Don Chicale has been alleging about Joe Melino? That he was accepting money from Scott Bernstein to share information. I don't know. This is not my business. What Devin Chicali is saying, that's his thing. He's got a beef with Joe Molino because Joe Molino been bad mouthing him, and so Dom Chicali's coming back at him. So that's something that they got to fix it themselves. My problem is with the 52 topic. and Francesco Fedolino, and these people around them, Lisa Pizzatola, Bimbi Palermo, Joe Pastori, JJ Lambone, all these guys, the associated podcasts, sit down, all the groups I've been saying, that's my beef. And, you know, instead of attacking me, they attack my work on Amazon. I mean, that's like a cheap blow they took. And that's when they invited me to go on their show, 52 Topic. I went. Not once, not twice, three times. And three times they were trying to embarrass me. And I told them I came to the Lions Den. I got the balls, the guts to come to the Lions Den. You guys don't go nowhere. You stay in your own little social 52 with uh, their followers, and they got nothing. That's why they still the lowest of the lows in ratings. They got nothing, and they want to do now members only. They want people to pay $5.99 a month to be member. This way they could have a private. So this 4,000 people subscriber, whatever, 4,500. They're gonna give them let's rough it off, $6 a month for membership. Wish you luck. I don't know. Is that gonna happen? I don't think so. You can't go private. You got to be around people. Okay, so we have soy sauces. Have you ever heard of what? Okay, we did that. Primo. Okay, so Primo's saying soy sauce. It's appear that Chicali wants to buy all the corporation doing biz with Joe. I don't know. That's the business. I got my own problem with JJ Lambone. He can't stop. Now he's sending me emails. You believe this guy? Because I gave an email out, Primo. I gave the email to you, and he's writing me emails. Pretty soon I'm going to get Lisa Pizzatola giving me emails too. So I'm not going to answer them. I answer them over here. My podcast. I call them out that they are, um, they want to redeem themselves, revive their review. That's it. And take away those pictures that Lisa Pizzatola did. You know, it's not a good person to do something like that. Somebody's work, hard work to write stories, and said all along. I always said, I didn't go to school. I wrote the story myself, and I had to rewrite it. I had to revive it. And then you go attack my book because you find a mistake when I publish it. you know. So when I publish it, you give it to the people that they do the what do you call it, the grammarly, the punctuation, and when I gave it to Amazon, they were supposed to correct, because they're gonna check things. So they published the book, so it was good in their eyes. It was nothing really bad they found, and I got a lot of good reviews. So why would you go and store up the pot and change everything around? There's six people that I just mentioned. And Francesco Fandolin is one of the fake names, and Brett too, and Joe Pastori. But those people, Lisa Pizzatola, use her own real name that she has in the show. Bimbi Palermo used our own name. J.J. Lambon didn't use his own name. He used James Johnson. And then the other four other people, they use fake names. Which one I think is Frank, and the other one it could be Brett the Penguin, Joe Pastore. So I mentioned them. So they could revive the reviews. Then I stop. But as long as those reviews stay, when I do my show, I would always bring up their memories, their names, which they did wrong. And okay, so Nice also says, yeah, Primo Dom once say that he wants to buy Joe Cheesecake Shop. Who cares? Okay, um, so we go to Tommy Sticks is back. Good. I'm happy to see Tommy Sticks. Chaco, did the book make it to the bestseller list as of now? No, I couldn't make a bestseller list. I'm a new guy coming. I wrote. The books were doing great. They were in the hundreds ratings, and Lisa Pizzatola and the crew did a good damage because people looking for reviews. So I was moving up to the best list, seller. They were moving up. They were doing good, and they damaged six people in one fucking shot. From days apart on both books. It does damage, don't you think so, Tommy Sticks? If somebody starts talking about, I think you say you got a show, they started talking about you or mention you or try to degrade you, those becomes a damage. Okay, prima. I tried to. It's probably been a few years. Okay, where the boys of the New York be enough singing "Go with Me"? I don't know what you're talking about. New York. Okay, so okay, okay. A message. 1 minute. Where's Java? Yeah, I think I seen something. Okay. Primo, are Johnny Primo, Johnny Catalano, he came in as a paisano like you did, talking about, immigrant. He's an immigrant. He came here same age. We were getting along. I knew his cousin, he says, Saka Delano. He owned the bakery. He was a couple in the Bonanno crime family, and we had a lot in common. So, Primo, if I'm having a disagreement with JJ Lambone, Johnny put his 2 cents in, okay? Because I guess he follows JJ Lambone and he follows Bimbi Palermo. He's a follower of those people. They attack my books. He didn't come to my defense and tell them you did wrong. You don't do things like that. Now, me and Johnny had a lot in common being from the old country. He was born there, he says. I don't know, Johnny. I only know based, what he says. He says it's related to Salvatore Catalano, cousin. So when he defends J.J. Lambone and he's telling me you make truth once the guy already trashed my book and did damage to my books and put up all kinds of AI video against my videos I'm putting up. Okay, he took them off now, but he wasn't doing that because I went after YouTube and asked him copyright to take off those reviews, those AI. They took them down. He took them. They took him down. Or he's going to lose his what do you call it, his rights being on YouTube. So he took him down not because he wanted to, because he didn't. He never took down the reviews on Amazon. There's still things about Mob Jenna fake. They're still up, which I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna go there to complain that they use my videos to degrade me, my books. That's why he took it down. So when I talked to Johnny, and I told Johnny, why are you getting in the middle? I got a little upset because he even told my son, your father did wrong. He gave me wrong. Primo, he gave me wrong. And I let it go. I didn't attack him. But then when he came on my podcast, he told me I did wrong. That we had a truth with JJ Lambone. I never made truth with him. How could I make a truth with him when he's got all those videos? I told him, Johnny, you did wrong. Especially you're supposed to be Sicilian and know between right and wrong. You side with this person that you don't even know nothing about. You sticking up for Bibi Palermo. And then he took off. He didn't come by. And he stood away. I don't have no animosity with him. He stayed away. I didn't block him. I didn't chase him. He felt that I attacked him. I attacked him. Why are you getting involved with this guy? He's not even Italian. Forget about being Italian. Doesn't make a difference but Italian. He did wrong to me. He was putting out all kinds of video, stretching on my books with shit, using shit. That was all the things for laugh. You understand, Primo? Johnny did wrong, not me. Johnny did wrong. And now he wants to stay away from me. It's up to him. He wants to come back. He's welcome back. You know, admit when I do wrong, I admit. I always believe as stuff I was, if I'm wrong, I apologize. That's what made me survive. You know, I would apologize to somebody weaker than me if I did wrong. You gotta admit when you're wrong. And you gotta stick when you're right, you're right. And what makes it the distinguish between a man and a weak man, a strong man or a weak strong man, a weak man. So that's what happened, Primo. So I asked him too. Did you ever buy my book? He never bought my book, and he said he was going to buy my book, Primo, and he never did. Primo, you bought 3 books, no question asked. You just felt that the way I was talking, you felt you could trust me. You could trust what I'm saying. You bought 3 books. Johnny never bought a book. because I asked him, "Did you ever really, when we had this, did I mean, we've been talking to each other like we're friends, but did you ever get the book to read or the audio book? Because a lot of people don't like to read. Okay, so now over here, see Tommy Stinky says, "You sir disrespected Johnny." Tommy, I just explained it to Primo. Primo bought three books for me. I'm explaining to him. I don't know what you got to go on with him, but Johnny did wrong. And if Johnny's a man, he should admit that he did wrong. Okay? So if Johnny wants to be, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. Johnny's what? He don't want to admit he was wrong? He wants to stay away from me? There's nothing I could do. I can't force him to come here. I got rid of a lot of people. I got rid of Carmela too. You know Carmela, right? Tommy Sting. I got rid of Carmela. Tommy Sting. You know Carmela, right? I blocked her. I never blocked Johnny. I was just disgusted with Johnny, and Johnny went away. So, do you just call gangsters celebrities? Gangsters are celebrities. They make movies. They make all kinds of things. Tommy Stink. Yes. Gangsters. Yes. The Godfather movie. The Goodfellas. Bronx Tale. How many movies? The Sicilian, which I am. So Michael Francese and Sammy the Bull are probably celebrities now. They are, right? That's right. So the celebrities, the stars. Michael Francese's got 2 million subscribers. Are they all truly friends? 2 million subscribers? Or he keep all the haters too? Just to keep the numbers up. I don't know. I can't deal with that. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a weak man. Uh, Sally true soy sauce. That's right. It's true what he's saying. They are celebrities. They're big. They follow them. People give them money. So okay. So I tell you, no point in even replying. I retract the whistle. Manuel. This endless. I tell you, when the Giacomo trying to have a live chat, be nice, guys. Good night, gentlemen. Serious prayers. Very ladylike, yes. And that's what Johnny should have did. Johnny should have stood out with between the quarrel I had with JJ Lambone and Bimbi Palermo. They still make a video, but that don't bother me about the videos. Like Bimbi does a thing, is not so bad. JJ Lambone was putting my books in the toilet, shitting on them. Okay? He was disgracing everything. JJ Lambone, a real low life. And Johnny sticks up for this guy and he says, I broke the truth, even though J. Lambone disgracing my books with Lisa Pitatola and he gets involved. Okay, and I'm the bad guy. Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna have a sip. Okay. Tommy Six said me. I told them go fuck themselves and continue on forward. I'm trained in the way of Machiavelli. Yes, it's true. But don't you have a show for 5 years? Tommy Stick. You have a show for 5 years, right? I'm just starting now. Same thing with my books. They're on sale for the last year. Making my books with the mafia came out September 20, was it 24th, October 24th. Okay? The 80 mobsters behind me, it came out September 25th. They're new. My show, my my channel on YouTube, I started 4 months ago. 4 months. And I'm being attacked by everywhere. Every podcaster guy attacked me, and these people went along. So Tommy Sting, how are you going to tell them go fuck yourself when they come in and they attack the people that are trying to listen to me? Mickey got attacked. He's a friend of Johnny. I think he's a friend of yours too. They attacked him. They call him all kinds of names. I think they attacked you too. And you went away. Then you came back. So maybe Johnny should do the same thing. Go away, come back, because a lot of guys I got rid of them. There's nobody here now. I want to move forward. I don't want people come in and attack my friends, my followers. So I got to protect the people that come in to listen to me because they want to be my friends. So I'm not going to let them attack my friends. So I delete them. Do you strike JJ channel? Do you strike JJ? No, I didn't strike no JJ down. Actually, I agree with him when he was disputing. I think with what's it, Jeff Nutty or somebody, and that's what I did. Okay, Primo says, suggest you, Jaco. Focus on your contents and don't fight with the subscriber chat, other channel, etc. Listen to your son. Yes, I am. I'm listening. I'm talking to you to let you know about what happened with Johnny. This way you know, because I think you came in because of Johnny, and he brought in Tommy Sticks. He brought in a lot of people, and I like Johnny. I was getting along good with Johnny. My son liked him too. Everything was going good till he put himself in the middle with JJ Lambone. What has he got with this guy J Lambone or Bimbi Palermo? This is my channel. I'm trying to do my thing. If I'm having a dispute, if I don't get involved with other people dispute, like Dam Chicali or Joe Molino, I could say 1,000 things, between both of them. Or Michael Franchese. I could attack Michael Franchese when he says things. He's not fucking 100%. Under Franchese, he talks about. I don't attack him. I don't attack nobody. Okay, so why do you block Carmela? Because she had a dirty mouth. She called me names, and she called trash my book. That's why. Soy sauce. I didn't wasn't blocking her, but then she started trashing, and so why I got to put up with her? That's why I blocked her. Okay, then the people say, I don't believe in blocking anyone unless they are degenerate scumbag soy sauce. That's right. That's what I did. That's why I blocked them when they're completely scumbag. That's what I did, Primo. I did see that Lambone put your face on the poop once. Yeah, he put a lot of things. He did a lot of bad videos, and the only reason he took them down because copyright. I went to YouTube and complained to YouTube that he is using my what do you call my copyrights, which I didn't have a copyright at the time. I took the copyright now, and then I went back to YouTube and tell YouTube, is doing my videos, copyrights, and it's posted them. So I don't know if they gave them a warning and it took them down. But there's still another video, another guy, uh, Mob Jenna Fakes, that he's sponsored, JJ Lambone. He says it's not him, but he's sponsored. He told me with his own mouth. He says, I gave him your videos and your voice, and I got nothing to do. He's from England. So he admits it himself he did that. I mean, what kind of guy is he? So anyway, so I got 10 likes. I got 16 people viewing. So it's more than the other days. I mean, if you go back to my videos, they people watching them. I got people they going from when I started my videos, the numbers are going up. I'm over 500, 600, 700. When I started, I had nothing. So they're watching those videos and they chat, live chat, which I started now it's about 2 months. I messed up. I got back. Now I got hundreds, hundreds, hundreds. And I'm starting to put in better content. Yeah, tonight I'm talking about, Sonny Black Napolitano. I'm talking about Donnie Brasco. Why didn't he, why didn't he implicate Joe Messino on a stake of 6 years? He was there 6 years. The Bonanno crime family, the bosses, the actor boss, the conflict between Carmine Galante and Rossi Rastelli. There was so much shit going on. Why certain people got put away, went to prison, but not Joe Messino? It's an honest question. Because all along I've been saying I never trusted Joe Messino from day one. I'm a good character of a person. I could judge, I could see. So when I see people and they come to my podcast channel and attack my followers, I take it more personal than if they attack me because that's not good. I got to protect my followers, my friends. Okay. Tommy Sting says, I was going to get the books, but the review were bad. Thank you. See? So I decided not to. I'll wait until they are in the dollar store. You see? Okay, so you're saying it. The baby, you're going to wait to the dollar store. I don't think they're ever going to be in the dollar store, Tommy Sting. That's an insult to what you just said. You know? Right, Tommy Sting? See, I'm a Sicilian. So you just say I wait until they are in the dollar store. So right now, with that saying, you insulted me. Right, Tommy? You're not Sicilian. You're not like me. Okay. Now I told you so why I blocked Carmela. I don't believe in blocking anyone. It's a general scumbag. Okay. They were scumbags, Primo. I tell you, Primo, these people are scumbag. That's why I blocked them. You see what right now Tommy Stinky just said? That I take it as an insult. I wait till in the dollar store. Okay? Is that a man? How old is he? I don't know. Is he 60 years old and he talks like that? Is that respect, Primo? I don't think so. And Johnny stood away, because he knows he was wrong, but he don't want to admit it's wrong. So okay, then I did see. Okay, okay, attacking is normal on social media. Yes, I believe that, but not what Tommy Sting just said. It's a very insulting. Okay, Rico Jaco, why you block OC 1990? Never said one word wrong in here. I don't know. I had it. Maybe I felt that he was not my friend. I don't know. Why did I block him? I don't know. I don't even know who he is. OC 1990. I don't know, Bruno, real Joe Bruno. I don't know. I just don't like cheap shots. I don't like it. Never did, and I never will. So anyway, I got 10 likes. Am I gonna get any more likes? Giacomo, why? Okay, I said that. I read that. Okay, that's it. All right. So I think I cover up everything. Primo, thank you for buying my books. You're gonna get them. You're gonna read it, and I hope you enjoy them. But you trusted. You know, Primo. Let me ask you, what made you want to get the books? It's a question I want to ask you. What made you get the books? I need your answer, Primo. You need to maintain a tolerance for ball busting in this genre. Yes, to support your business. Thank you. See? Now, going back to Johnny said he was going to get the book, he never got the book. Carmela said he was going to get the book, she never got the book. Uh, Primo, you just came out and bought 3 books, and I respect it. And I told you once I get the money and Zelle, I will send the books right out. And I see the kind of man you are, and I send the books right away. I mailed them because I see that you're a man of tradition, man of respect, and I wanted to do that for you. And the book I send you, If Fathers Believe, it's the book cover that my family is in the picture, in the front picture. And I'm the little kid. My brother got married in Sicily, and I'm the ring boy. So I send you a special book, Fathers Believe, not like the ones over here, the one behind me, Fathers Believe. This has a family portrait picture coming out of the church. The wearing process like the Godfather, and I'm the boy with the with my nieces. I was a boy. I was what, 6 years old, and a very special book cover, and I send it to you. And that's the book I signed for your daughters because the thing you did. I see. I give my heart and my trust when somebody's good to me. But when somebody's bad to me, I become evil. I gotta react. But if somebody's good to me, I become a lamb. My father raised me and he said to me, If somebody comes in good terms to you, take your shirt off your back and give it to him. If somebody comes hostile to you cut his throat because he's no good. Because he's gonna look to hurt you. So all these people that come on my thing, that's what I feel, and that's what I feel about those people. Started with Frankie Fandolino, uh, the Penguin, Brett, and the rest, Elisa Pizzatola, Bibi Palermo, JJ Lambone, everything. So when Johnny takes sides with those people, I got angry. I raised my voice, and he couldn't handle it. I asked him a fucking simple question. Why you put yourself in the middle? Who's this guy JJ Lambone to you? And then he just took off. Now, Tommy Sting, where are you? Okay. So now Primo said, you have to maintain $9. Okay. To support your business. Thank you, Primo. And that's why I respected you. So back in the day too. I bought some threads from Josara 73 back in the days too. Primo, hello. You are one of the first on YouTube. Okay. Josara 73. Stars, by the way. Okay, go there. Okay. Go on here. JJ both of both have a discussion. I don't need to discuss with him. I told him what to do. What I want for him to revive the review and on Amazon and give the right opinion. Don't follow Lisa Pizzatola when she wrote. See, you can't have it both ways. You know, that's what he's doing. He's trying to side with the 52 topic and Lisa Pizzatola, Bambi. He says it. He says it to me. Where till we get a hold of you? Me, Bambi Palermo, Lisa Pizzatola, and with this mob gender, you're going to see what's going to happen. He threatened me. Primo, you don't see that. All right. So, anyway, so push like, subscribe, because you don't know when I'm going to come on, but I'm scheduled to come on what's today? Monday, Wednesday. I'm gonna pop in and do another channel, and I'm doing a lot of shorts now. I'm learning from Michael Franchese. Everything I'm copycat Michael Franchese, but I don't go on the show. I don't make comments on the show. I don't go make comment on the Semi the Bull. I don't make comment on Joe Molino. I don't make comment on Dam Chikali or the other guys. I don't make no comments. I just want to do my show, and I want to build my own audience and followers. So, and that's what I'm trying to do. So, buonanotte, cent'anni, and maybe things will work out. Okay, Tommy Sting. I think that thing you said I didn't like when you go to the dollar store. Primo, did you think it was that nice for him to say that? I'll wait till he goes to the dollar store. Primo, was that is that a good comment he made? Primo, before I close the night out, what is that a good comment to make? That's what Carmela said. Make comments. Johnny said bad comments too. So okay, Primo says I have 5 daughters. I am very sensitive to anything negative about women. Hey, I got sons. Doesn't make it different. I got five granddaughters, but I don't think you raise your daughters to be disrespectful or go on, mafia podcast. Primo, do they go on mafia podcast? Are they disrespectful? Okay, I will buy your book. Okay, I have five daughters. I am very self-to-mother. Yes, I understand that. I got five granddaughters. I love my granddaughters. Okay, sticking on about. I will buy your book just because Tommy Stink won. Thank you, Stinky Nomax Bottle. Uh, what was your question, Giacomo? What do you mean? I asked you about Tommy Sting for him to say, I will buy your book when it goes to the dollar store. Was that a good comment to make? He says, I didn't buy, this was what he said. He says, I didn't buy your books because the bad comments on Amazon. So I think I'm going to wait till your book goes in the dollar stores. Was that a good comment? That was my question to you. So that's what he said. I'll wait for your comment. Lamboni's on my, yeah, he's always on my, they're all on my chat. They're all listening to me. Lisa Pizzatola, they all come on my chat. Okay, Primo, shift comment. He makes them all the time. Get used to it. Okay, thank you for telling me. I believe you. Okay, so okay, he makes. he makes okay, all right. I guess I gotta have a sense of humor, right? That's what you're telling me. I gotta start learning to have a sense of humor with people on the podcast. Okay, thank you, Primo. Primo, you have shown to be a friend and a man of integrity and respectful and no bullshit ask. You just went out and purchased the book without even search for it, just by listening the way I talk, what I remind you of, just by the feelings. And I appreciate it. Thank you. So I will take all your advices from now on because in my book, you're shown to be a man of integrity and respect, and that's the way I thought Johnny was, but he never came back. So maybe he will. Okay, the okay, talking and doing are way different. Talking and doing are way different. JJ Lambone stuff. Primo. Okay, talking and doing. So you're talking to Primo. Are you talking to J Bone Mob stuff? Are you talking to him right now? Talking doing way different J Lambone stuff. Because I don't know. Are you talking to JJ Lambone right now? Because I don't know. So just I wait for your answer. Yes. Okay, it's in the chat. You could be in the chat and talk to me and become friends. All right, all the videos are off over there. Now, the only thing you could do is um fix up the review, show that he wants to be my friend, fix up the review, and we could move forward. And you could come and make chat. We could talk because Primo's involved. Women. I love women. I'm still married with my wife for 50. We've been together 55 years. 55 years we've been together. I never got divorced. Women love me. So I never been treated woman. The only woman that attacked me was this Lisa Pizzatola. The other one, Bibi Palermo, is not doing the bad things she did. She just went along because it was what we call 52 topic. That's why they went along. They didn't know me. They don't know who I am. They feel they know Francesco Fandolino, because he's been around going to all different podcasts. All these guys don't know. I don't go bouncing around to all the podcasts I just mentioned. I don't go make comments. Let them do their thing. I want to do my thing. But I want to learn how to operate in my YouTube channel, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to tell the story that I grew up with these guys, and they're all, what do you call it, famous people, bosses, underbosses, top soldiers in the mafia. So I got a lot to say. So I don't need to go and what do you call it, to the Wise Guys podcast, because what they talk about, a lot of time I disagree with what they're saying. So what am I going to do? Debate with them? If people want to listen to them, let them listen to them. You come to me, listen to what I got to say. That's it. And compare it. Um, so says, when you were on the street, do you ever have a good mind? See, those are private questions. Uh, it's the life. You think about it. Okay, never source Jack. That's the genre in my book. Wait, never source. That is the genre in my book. Good, Primo. Good. That's the right answer. Anyway, so I'm gonna leave you. My likes only stood at 10. I don't think I had a lot of people, right now tonight, because a lot of people are staying away because they don't want to be attacked. So you will see this video I just made. You're gonna see people come in and push like, and you're gonna see how many people watching this video tonight. And you could go and watch the other videos that are previous videos I made. You see the numbers keep on going up and up. So my subscribers right now, I think by next week, I don't know. I already got over 4,700 subscribers. Thank you. I got one like, so we went up to 11. That's good. So my subscribers are growing. So now we're going to get people in there. I'm going to take your advice, Primo. Let them talk. Let them make the silly comments, and just ignore it. And that's it. Because this is 90% of the game. Thank you. Yes. Well, I'm going to come back on Wednesday. But meanwhile, I'm going to be doing shorts, and I'm going to do another one. So, this weekend is going to be the Belmont Steak. I don't know if you guys are into horses. So I probably, last time I predict the horses, they won. So I'm going to do that one private chat about the picks I'm gonna pick, and we have fun. So thank you, Primo, and I'll see you Wednesday night or maybe before that. Thank you, and good night, friends. Enjoy the night. Sleep well.